Hello and welcome back to The Goodness Margin, the place where we find margin for the good things in life. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my most frequently asked questions. These are questions I get all of the time on Instagram through messages or on my post. And so today I want to share these quick organizational tips with you. One of the first questions that I receive often is, do you have a separate salt and pepper shaker for your table and separate for when you cook? That is a really great question, and it leads me to talk about things that are multifunctional. So this is my salt and pepper shaker. As you can see, it looks like one that you might sit on the table, but I also use it for cooking. So I encourage you, when you are shopping for items like this, think about what is something that I can use while I'm cooking, but I can also use it at the table. Another favorite item that I have that I use while I'm cooking is I have pots that are beautiful. So they transition from the stovetop to the oven, and I can also put them on the table and serve out of them. This really keeps my kitchen minimal. Another question I get often is, how do you store your food storage items? Or a lot of times we call it Tupperware, even though that's not actually the brand. This brand is actually Snapware, and I will link below some plastic that I recommend. And then if you want to go with glass, I also have some that I recommend. Now, this may seem just a little bit wasteful, but if you are someone who for years and years, you've had all of these bowls and lids or containers and lids, and a lot of them don't match, a lot of them are looking old and dingy, it may be time just to kind of start over. I bought this set at Costco for less than $20. I will have it linked below you can purchase it on Amazon. But if you start fresh, you know that all of your lids and your bowls match. Now, if you have a lot, you can go through and make sure that you do have matching lids and bowls or matching lids and bottoms. If they don't match, if they don't have a lid to go with it, you need to toss them and let them go. I love to contain these items. I feel like if you just sit them in a cabinet, they can start to spill over. And so I use my favorite container from the Container Store. I use these to keep the bottoms in this one. And then in this one, I keep all of the tops. And that way I just have to pull it out of the cabinet and they're kept neat and tidy without spilling out everywhere. Another question that I'm frequently asked is, what do you do with kids' stuff, with kids' plates? So when we sit down to dinner, we all use the same plate. Now, when my daughter was little and I was worried she was going to grab the plate off of the high chair and fling it, I did not serve it on my ceramic dishes. But now she eats on the ceramic dishes. But when she wants to get a snack or she wants to fix something, I'm trying to teach her to be more independent in the kitchen. I like her to have access to things that she is not going to break. And again, I use my favorite bins to put all of these in. And so we have her bowls, her plates, her cups, these are some other little plates that she has, and then little cutters that she can use for her sandwiches. Keep all of these in a bin, in a cabinet, on this island so that she can open it up and easily pull these out. And another reason I love to keep them in a container like this is because they don't spill out everywhere. We are having them contained in this one space. The next question is, what do you do with all of your kitchen linens? Sometimes we can have an overabundance of kitchen towels or kitchen washcloths. We'll buy new ones because we notice the old ones are getting dingy, but yet we don't replace them. So the first thing is going to be, when you purchase something new, be sure to replace it. Do you have some old towels that are beginning to kind of smell weird, or they have holes in them, or they just look too dingy? Let those go. I have found these at Target. They're very inexpensive. I will link them in the blog post below. And I like to fold them in an envelope style. So as you can see, this is a regular size bar towel, but I fold it like this and I keep them in a drawer where they will stand up. I have found that keeping them folded that way makes it so much easier to organize them. It looks really nice when I open it. And also, I moved all of my towels from a large drawer to a much smaller drawer, and that gave me more room to work with my kitchen drawers. So if you have really old towels, really old washcloths, I encourage you to go through those. See, some of those may need to go, and you can start fresh with some new ones and then take care of those. The last two questions sort of go hand in hand. What are your best tips for keeping a clean and organized kitchen? So my number one tip is going to be to wipe spills up immediately. Whenever you're cooking, whenever you're finished with dinner, whenever you're finished with lunch or breakfast, just go ahead and quickly wipe up the countertop. If you get in the habit of doing that, and it's something I'm still working to train my children in, make a sandwich, Be sure to put everything back in the pantry or back in the refrigerator and then wipe up your space. If we do that, that is the first and biggest step we can take towards keeping a clean and organized kitchen. The next step that we can take is our nightly pickup. This is a huge thing for me because the kitchen seems to be a place where things can just appear. Stuff can just end up on the kitchen counter. Our kitchen is right next to the door to our garage, which is our main entrance for us as a family, and things will just get sat on the kitchen counter. So each and every night, I am taking the time to address that clutter to make sure it's all put away. And then the third step you can take is to be sure to do your weekly cleaning. So on Wednesdays, I clean my main living space, and I'm going to be sure to clean the kitchen. That way, if there is a spill that I noticed that I didn't notice, and now I notice it, I'm going to be sure to take care of that. So it's less than a week old. During this time, I move everything off of the kitchen counters. I'm going to wipe the entire kitchen counter. I'm going to clean the front of my appliances. I'm going to clean the floors. So this is a really good way to maintain that clean space. And that leads me into the final question. What do you do for caked on spills or things that have been baked on your stovetop or on your kitchen counter? Sometimes we can make messes and we don't even realize that they're there. I noticed the other day my son had made some French toast and he had spilled some of the egg mixture on the counter, which if you're just kind of looking at the counter, you don't notice it, but it was really kind of gooey and stuck to the counter. So the thing that I recommend is to get a warm soapy rag, a hot soapy rag, and you're going to wipe that off, try to get it off. It may come off the first time. If it doesn't, then go ahead and get that area really, really wet with that hot soapy water and let it sit for about 10 or 15 minutes. Come back, it probably will wipe right up. Hot soapy water really can get up most of our kitchen messes. If that doesn't work, try it again and you can probably get it up at that point. These are some of my favorite kitchen tips. I love these bins to organize things. I love using items that are multifunctional where I don't have to have a lot of duplicates of things in my kitchen. I can just use one item over and over in different ways. I hope that these tips will help you to have margin for the good things in your life. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the bell to be notified when the next video goes live and be sure to subscribe to my channel.